for a living? These things you see.
You have to wear blinders sometimes. Most times.
Watch It Again is my show where I try to convince you. I'm arrogant enough to convince you to watch another movie that I like. And have a special guest with me today, Gavin. Borden, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Thanks for joining me on the show again. Our last show, we did JFK together, and I really appreciate you doing that with me. It was a great show. So I figured I'd ask you to join me again so we could talk about Se7en. The horror, it wasn't not a horror, it's a thriller, it's a suspense thriller, Se7en, which starred Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. And Se7en is a very famous movie, I suppose, because of the subject matter. It was wildly original at the time that it came out. It spawned a lot of knockoff films. It was gritty. I mean, there's a lot about this film to talk about. It's a classic. It's definitely a classic. It has one of the best twist endings. So we're going to talk about all things Se7en tonight in the hopes that our opinion will get you, the listener, to watch Se7en again. So any thoughts before we get started?
Yes, I'm excited to do this. As I said, I do have a few problems with this movie, but I am a huge fan of David Fincher.
All right, so we're definitely going to delve into it, so let's do it. As you said, it is directed by David Fincher, the great David Fincher, who I think is one of the best directors of the last 30 years.
Getting better and better.
Yeah.
He's getting better and better. He's just so much good stuff recently, too.
Yeah, I mean, his filmography, man, is just ridiculously off the chain, man. Of course, he got Se7en, Fight Club, Devil with the dragon, girl with the dragon.
Girl with the dragon tattoo.
Dragon tattoo.
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. The Game.
Which is recent.
Yeah.
Social Network.
Social Network. Yeah.
Social Network, a movie that is about computer nerds and depositions, and somehow he made that interesting.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he made that movie, Social Network. I mean, it's just so dialogue driven, man. And
so good.
Yeah, just nailed it. Did Sorkin write that?
Yes.
Sorkin?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can tell he did a fantastic job with that script, and Fincher just took it home. It was that should have won Best Picture. You know what beat that?
What did?
The King's Speech, which is
what? Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
It's forgettable. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great performance by Colin Firth in the lead role, but it was not Best Picture.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree with you.
Wow.
I agree.
And I thought Eisenberg, I thought he was great as Zuckerberg. So, I mean, wow. King's Speech beat Social Network. Okay. All right. Well,
I know. The director won too, and that is, I mean, like you said, Colin Firth, great performance.
Yeah.
But the director, I mean, I'm not sure I could do any better, but, I think the guy flubbed it, King's Speech. He did everything I wouldn't do in that movie. I was just like, you're making this look like a cartoon? Right here? You're choosing this? Really? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that movie was so driven by the lead performance that, I mean, I guess a monkey could have directed it and still,
That's right.
Yeah, so Colin Firth is that movie.
That's right.
But oddly enough, David Fincher has never won an Oscar. Has he been he's been nominated, but he's never won.
Social Network. He must have been nominated for Social Network, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know about Gone Girl. I doubt Gone Girl, but it wouldn't surprise me. But not Fight Club, none of those early movies. No.
Yeah.
Not nominated for those.
Because obviously Fight Club is a Stone Cold classic, and definitely he should have got a nomination for that. So.
Probably, yeah.
Fincher, he does get his props as one of the best filmmakers of our generation, but the Academy doesn't like him for some reason, and it might go all the way back to the experience he had with Alien 3. That was his first feature film, and the studio basically just destroyed it. And it was Warner Brothers, wasn't it, that he had to battle with?
I I don't know that, but I know he said I'd rather get cancer than direct another movie again after Alien 3.
Yeah. And for his, for that to be his first feature film, and for him to have the kind of career he's had, he definitely rebounded. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Alien 3 wasn't a terrible flick, but
I was going to say that.
Yeah. But they took Final Cut away from him, and they just butchered it. Yeah. So
what do you know what any of the changes were? I mean, not to get off topic here.
They killed off the girl and Michael Biehn, Hicks. Newton Hicks.
They killed them off in the beginning.
Yeah.
And originally they were in the script. They were in Alien 3?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
So there's a lot about Alien 3 that that the studio really fucked up. So, anyways.
Yeah. I hear you.
But we're here to talk about 7. So, all right. So, as I said, directed by David Fincher, and the thing about 7 to me, I saw it for the first time. I saw it in a movie theater, of course, with my best friend, Veronique Meggie, who's a female, a French girl.
Not bad.
Yeah. And I watched it with her. And going into the film, I had no idea what it was about. I didn't even see a trailer for it. I read something about it. I think in Premiere Magazine. Was it Premiere Magazine back then? I read about
Premiere, Hollywood something. The New York Post, New York Daily News. You could buy those ever. They have the reviews in the back.
Absolutely. And like I said, that's what interested me in the film. So I went to see it. I took my friend to see it. Had no idea what I was in for. And this is a movie that just totally grabbed me from the very beginning. So let's we talked about Fincher a little bit. Let's talk about the cast. So the lead actor is Morgan Freeman. Now Morgan, at this time, he was a well-known character actor. He wasn't a guy that led a movie. He had been nominated for some Oscars. He hadn't won anything just yet. He did. He was a well-known name, but he wasn't somebody that you would build a movie around. And for him to be cast in the lead as Somerset, I think is tremendous casting. However, did you know that Al Pacino was originally offered the lead role of Somerset?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised in the way it's written and stuff like that they would go for the better name at the time, or the name that will sell more tickets at the time. That character, Morgan Freeman, I think like Al Pacino, elevates everything he's in. I think anything. Morgan Freeman makes any movie he's in a little bit better, even if it's a lousy movie, in my opinion. But, at that time, what was that, 1995?
Yeah, 94, 95, yeah. And that, yeah.
So that was after Shawshank.
After Shawshank, yeah.
Shawshank, I guess he had gotten some nominations, but he really hadn't led a movie as far. Street Smart was great. He got nominated for that.
Yeah, that was back in the 80s, yeah. And Driving Miss Daisy. Yeah. He had been nominated for Driving Miss Daisy. Yeah.
Glory, he was in Glory, he's really great in that. But yeah, he's not the lead, really, in any of those. He's not the sole lead.
Right.
But I guess in 7, he kind of shares it with Brad Pitt, right? They're kind of...
Yeah, he shares it with Brad, but his character is definitely the lead character in the film. He's in the very first scene, very last scene. So he grounds the movie a little bit, I think.
He's doing the VO. He's doing the narration.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely his film. But as you said back then, he just wasn't somebody I thought I would think of off the top of my head to lead a film like this. But I think it's great casting. I think he did a magnificent job with it. I think he should have been nominated for an Oscar in the film because the way he played that character was so understated, but at the same time, it was forceful and authoritative at the same time. As this grizzled, world-weary cop who was just sick of it all. He's retiring in a few days, and so he took a well-worn stock type of character, because you've seen this character 1,000 times before, but he took it and he made it his own and did something different with it, did something special with it, and I think he took a nothing character and made it into something that's totally special. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, do you think that he did that? He made it different through depth of his performance, or using elements of the script that were different, and he played up to them? Because the elements of the script that what kind of were different than the standard detective movie. Like, I had some problems with that. Like.
Okay, what were your problems?
Well, I mean, if you want, we can get into that.
Okay, well, I tell you, we'll hold off on that a little bit, just for a little bit, just for a little bit. Okay, but one of the things I do want to touch on is the fact that the way the film is shot, the way the whole setup of the film, the atmosphere of the film,
unbelievable,
yeah.
Terrific.
And I mean, and you can just from the very first scene, you can just tell this guy has seen too much in his lifetime. He does not need to see anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's ready to retire. He's ready to like listen to his records and like sit back and throw his knife. Maybe put his switchblade away.
Yeah.
And put that dartboard away and read some literature instead and not think about crime for the rest of his life. But he's stuck in this crime with Brad Pitt. He can't get out of it. They're in it together.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. And since you mentioned Brad Pitt, let's go ahead and jump into Brad Pitt. Brad is cast as Mills, the young upstart, the detective. At this time, Brad Pitt was definitely Hollywood's golden boy. Go ahead. You go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'll tell you, I loved when I went into Se7en and I saw Brad Pitt with that short hair. I was so effing relieved that it was not that Brad Pitt from those Legends of the Fall with that long or Interview with a Vampire.
Vampire. Yeah.
I couldn't stand him when he had that long hair. I was like, I was happy to see him in Se7en and his performance. So I was like, this is a good comeback from the Legends of the Fall and Interview with a Vampire, which was better than Legends of the Fall. But Legends of the Fall was a movie I just can't stand. I mean, I just can't stand it. I could go on and on and on about how much I hate it.
Same here, man. Same here. And oddly enough, I hated him in Legends of the Fall, but I loved him in River Runs Through It.
Loved him.
And those movies are so similar, as far as, the setting and everything. The set during
Montana.
Yeah, Montana, everything. And I think Legends of the Fall was directed by Edward Zwick, if I'm not mistaken. And River Runs Through It was directed by Robert Redford. Both are great directors, because Zwick, had a moment there where he was one of the top guys. But you can just see the difference in Brad Pitt in those two films, man, is like night and fucking day. So
I agree. I agree, man.
And like I said, at this time, man, I was not a Brad Pitt fan going into this film. I liked him in California. I liked him okay in Thelma and Louise, but I thought he was just another disposable pretty boy. I didn't think he would have any staying power. Yeah. But when I saw him in Se7en, I knew this dude is an actor. He's not just a pretty face. Yeah. Dude is an actor. And if you think about it, man, I think especially when you have a face like his, and Hollywood is putting you out there, because he had a choice. He could either be, Brad Pitt or Rob Lowe. I mean, and I think a great juxtaposition is Rob Lowe to Brad Pitt as a pretty face that Hollywood just slammed out there and said, hey, you're going to love this guy no matter fucking what. He has the chops to do it. Rob Lowe didn't. Brad Pitt did. And you see where they are now. Now he's an icon. And Rob Lowe is doing television. Yep. so that's how I looked at Brad Pitt as Rob Lowe 2.0 until this fucking movie. And
like 1993, 1994, that's what you thought his trajectory was going to be.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So totally surprised me as Detective David Mills, who we're going to talk about in depth as we move on. Okay, next up we have
poet faggot.
So next up we have Gwyneth Paltrow as his wife. What was her fucking name in this movie?
I don't even know.
Mrs. Mills. Tracy. Was it Tracy? Was it Tracy?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Tracy.
Yeah.
Tammy? Something like, somebody with a T.
Yeah, something like that.
Look it up. I don't know.
But Gwyneth Paltrow at this time, she was not a big star at all. I think she actually got this role because of a performance in a film called Flesh and Bone. If you recall, Flesh and Bone. Yeah.
Dennis Quaid.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. Dennis Quaid, yeah. Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan's first nude scene is in
Oh, really?
Flesh and Bone. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So if you ever have a hankering to see Meg Ryan butt naked, check out Flesh and Bone. I think you get some TNA out of Gwyneth in that film as well, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're a perv and you want to see some Meg Ryan and Gwyneth Paltrow TNA, check out Flesh and Bone. James Caan is in that as well. So
Right, James Caan plays the old that psychotic, right?
yeah, exactly. So it wasn't a bad film. Now, a little trivia. Gwyneth Paltrow has famous parents. She's the daughter of a television producer, Bruce Paltrow, and Blythe Danner is her mom.
Yeah.
And she looks exactly like Blythe Danner. I saw an episode of Columbo from the early 70s, and Blythe was a guest star on Columbo. And I'm like, that's Gwyneth Paltrow. Damn. So,
did you see the Great Santini?
Yes, she's in that too as well. Yeah.
She's like trying to defend him. Your father's not such a bad guy. He just threw a basketball in the back of your head. But,
he's a freaking lunatic. One of Robert Duvall's best performances, and he didn't get an Oscar for that.
For
So.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. He got the Oscar. Yep.
No, he didn't.
Deserved it.
He didn't get
No,
it.
you're right. He did.
He got it for Tender Mercies. Yeah.
Tender Mercies.
Yeah. He should have gotten it
You're
for.
right.
Yeah.
He should have got it for that. He did not.
Exactly. So Gwyneth Paltrow and Kevin Spacey. Should we talk about Kevin? Well, we're not spoiling anything. It's 30 years later, man. We're not spoiling anything.
No way. Fuck spoilers.
Yep.
30 years later, man.
Exactly.
Watch the movie. If you haven't listened, if you don't watch the movie before you listen to us talk about this. That's my advice.
And if you haven't seen Se7en by now, you're not going to watch it. So, shit, fuck it. I mean, it's been 30 fucking years. I mean, so everybody knows the secret and, the twist and everything. So, John Doe is played by Kevin Spacey. And another trivia, he was not credited in this film. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, he's not in the credits. He does not.
Hey, that's right. He isn't. That's right.
Yeah. And that was on purpose, of course, because it was such a twist. And they wanted it to be such a shock. Now this was.
I knew it was him.
Oh, really?
When he first says the voice. When you first hear his voice, I knew that was Spacey. I was like, they're gonna show him.
Tell me in the stairwell.
Yeah. Well, isn't it like he calls up and he's like, I've gone and done it again. Like he
Did
like
you tell the voice? Yeah. I couldn't tell it. Cause he.
I was like, that sounds familiar. I saw it back then in '95 too in the theater, and I was in college. I was in Florida at the time. I was like, that's gotta be Spacey.
Really?
I was like, who else could that be? I was like, it's not. And then I was like, you know what? They would have shown him in the credits. So I remember that. So I was like, maybe it's not. But then I saw it was him. I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, he was uncredited for that. More trivia. This is the same year that he did Kaiser Soze. So, Usual Suspects, same year. So
I'm pretty lukewarm about that one too. That Usual Suspects.
He won the Oscar, so.
I know.
Don't get me started on Usual Suspects, man. Come on now. Come on.
I got problems with that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of amazing how. When you fast forward up to today's in today's current society, how Kevin Spacey he's persona non grata. I mean you'll never see him anything again, which is
you see him in his weird, self-produced, bizarre imitations of his presidential character on
Frank Underwood.
Frank Underwood. He's done a few of those where he's been like, "You want me to be guilty, don't you?" Like,
really?
Yeah, check it out. He did one right. I think there was some legal decision coming up, and he put that out before.
Oh wow!
And I was like, it was just absolutely bizarre. Google that. He's like next to a fireplace. He's like, "You want me back?" No. Like,
no, we don't.
I don't know what he was going for. I don't know what the goal was, but didn't work.
Yeah, whatever the goal is, he's not coming back. He's done. He's done.
He's done. He's done. Yeah. They're not gonna give him. I can't see him acting in anything ever again.
No.
Like no.
No. I mean, Mel Gibson made it back, but nah.
Mel Gibson wasn't. No one pinned him for sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Did they?
No.
Did they?
No, just just the anti-Semitic
just
and
a drunken, racist language that he apologized for, right? I mean, it's grotesque.
Yeah.
But he's a drunk. The guy is a drunk. I mean, people say horrible stuff when they're drunk.
Well, you know what they say? They say you tell the truth when you're drunk.
I've heard that too. So that's, we don't know here with Mel. But I like Mel. I liked Drive to Cause Concrete, man. I dug it. I
Dude,
thought it was so...
I've tried to watch that 3 times, man. I've fallen asleep on it every time.
Can't dig it? Man,
I like
so
what I
good.
see. I like what I see, but I just can't get through it. It's long. Yeah, it's long.
It's
so
long.
Maybe I'll try it again tonight. See,
It's
that's
a
my...
comic book.
But you see, that's my problem though, man. I try to watch movies late at night, and I'm too old to do that now because I can't stay up. So, so instead of me watching the movie winds up watching me. So I'm gonna try it though. I'm gonna try for Drive Across Concrete again.
Yeah, man. Try to watch the whole thing. I'm telling you, it's a good flick, man. Like if you watch it, there are some scenes that are long and drawn out. You're like, what's going on here? But when you watch it in completion, you go, oh, wow, that was a really neat trick. That was really cool to leave that in, even though it seemed random.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil anything. I feel like I'm on spoiler territory right now.
Okay, yeah, don't spoil that for me. No, don't spoil it for me. But I definitely plan on seeing it. Maybe I'll just, start watching it like at 8 instead of midnight.
Yeah, but that was Mel, seeing Mel Gibson just act. Again, he's acting.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell he's trying to act. He's trying to be this burnt out cop in that, and does a great job. In fact, I don't want when I was watching Se7en, I was thinking a lot about movies about cops that were really great. Opposite of movies like, say, Lethal Weapon, quote unquote hero cop stuff. Because
right.
I don't like those movies, man. They're all the same. Like, there's so many of them are the same.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of them. But like,
I'm not either.
Se7en was great because it was cool in the sense that it was showing at least the way they looked and the way their personalities were. It was a new kind of cop. Kind of. I don't know. It was the neo cop.
Yeah. It was grounded in this seedy underworld that we know nothing about. And that being said, that's a good segue into the atmosphere of the film. Now, the film is shot. The setting, we don't know what city is in. They never mentioned the city. So we have.
Do you know where that was shot?
It was shot in L.A.
It was.
Yeah, it was shot in L.A., but they never mentioned where it is. Yeah, it never.
Of course.
Yeah, and because if you look at the police cars, it just says police. So you have no idea what city they're in. And originally, when I saw it, I thought it was in New York, because at the beginning of the film, in the director's cut, he's upstate looking at a house that he was going to buy once he retires and everything, right? And that's because that's how the film opened, with him looking at a house in upstate. It kind of reminded me of upstate New York. So that that made me kind of think that the film was set in New York, but it was actually shot in L.A. But once again, it's not a town, it's not a city. It's just the city, or whatever.
Well, also it's a place where I think Freeman says to Brad Pitt at one point, Somerset says, "What made you want to come to this horrible city?" It's like kind of the worst city in America,
right?
And I didn't know that it was, I knew it wasn't New York, literally, but where it was supposed to be, like Gotham City is New York,
right?
That's New York, this wasn't, at the end, when they're driving Kevin Spacey, it looks like the Midwest. Right? That looks like they're in the Midwest or something, right? Or California.
Like Idaho or someplace. I mean, yeah, they're like...
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So, so it was a great job of them kind of cloaking the setting of the film. And also, I mean, and there's something just so seedy and gritty about it. I mean, it's always raining, even when the sun is out. It's raining. You know, I don't know if you noticed that or not. It's always raining. It's dirty.
Always.
Nobody looks clean in the city. I mean, everything. You know, it's like you know this seedy underbelly. You know, this world out there that we know nothing about, and where these people who do these kind of things reside. I mean, even just like every character just has it's like they need to take a bath. You know what I mean? Especially the Mills character. He always looks he looks like he just woke up. Hair is nappy. Shirt is wrinkled. You can tell he's grabbed his tie.
Sling on his arm.
Yeah, sling on his arm. You can tell he's grabbed the tie like out of his glove box before he went into the office. I mean, it's not like he put a lot of thought into the way he looks. You go to the scene at his apartment. You got the elevated train and the apartment shaking. I mean, it's just Gwyneth hates it. It's like everywhere they went.
She hates being there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's legit unhappy there,
Yeah.
and she's like, and Freeman is also like, like I just said, Freeman says, why did you choose to come to this assignment, bringing somehow. And if you look at it, it is like Brad Pitt is like somehow forcing himself into this horrible like predicament situation, self-punishment, which kind of mirrors the themes of the film, right?
Right. So why do you think the Mills character, because he came from a small town, why do you think the Mills character, as a young detective, decided to go there? It's not like his career advancement. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, look, the screenwriter, he doesn't have a lot of he doesn't do a lot of homework in terms of like looking at how the police work. He wasn't interested in any of that stuff. Like, police don't investigate their crimes by going to libraries and reading Milton. Like, you're wasting your fucking time when you're doing that, But I think, like, symbolically, like, Brad Pitt, like a lot of people, has some inner demon, inner anger or something. He's trying to punish himself. That could be that, He's bringing... I mean, what else? He's bringing himself and his wife and his soon-to-be... Does he know she's pregnant? Does Brad Pitt doesn't know? He doesn't know she's pregnant. That's right.
No.
Yeah,
because John Doe says it. Yeah.
Spacey loves it. He loves it at the end that Brad Pitt doesn't know.
Yeah.
He smiles. He goes, "You didn't know."
Yeah, which is just
so
sick.
Delighted.
Yeah, just sick.
So delighted.
Yeah. So
I think it's probably like, hey, look, technically, you could say, yeah, maybe it was for promotion. I mean, he is a detective. He's saying to Morgan Freeman, he's very assertive in that, saying, listen, don't tell me to go canvass the area. I'm a detective just like you.
Yeah.
Treat me with that respect. So it's not like he's some real confident detective who's been in that spot for a long time. So I think it was a career promotion to detective or something, just putting him in. I mean, I guess he had said he'd been a detective 5 years, right? So he was a detective in a small town before.
Right.
I don't know why he chose to move to this horrible city.
I mean,
it wouldn't be what I would do.
Because I'm thinking, that they came from some small town in Iowa or Indiana someplace, and they moved to this metropolitan area, and it's not what they expected. It's definitely not what Gwyneth expected. And I can see that their marriage is kind of fraying at the edges a little bit. There's stuff that's not being said because obviously she's pregnant. She's not telling him. So there's definitely some backstory there that kind of feeds into her despair and may have ultimately led to her death as well. And something else that we'll talk about as we move on. Now, of course, the premise of Se7en is based on it's a serial killer who kills his victims according to the 7 deadly sins. Now, if you ask me to recite the 7 deadly sins, I don't fucking know. I know it's gluttony, greed, sloth, what else? Envy, pride, wrath, and something else.
Pride, jealous?
We already got envy. It's
Envy.
gluttony, sloth, envy.
And envy's John Doe's crime, right?
Yeah.
And sin.
Yeah.
Envy's John Doe's
Yeah.
sin. He goes, I envied your life, and that's my sin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman runs them all, runs off all 7 sins, and for the life of me, I have no idea what they fucking are. So.
Yeah, I can't recite them. I don't know. I mean, I think like being killed by having to eat spaghetti though would be one of the worst ways to die.
So
but,
yeah,
you know, look, man, that scene. I think the fleet-footed cop, the flunky cop who sees the body. I think when the detectives show up, Brad Pitt says something like, "Is he still breathing?" And it's just like, get the fuck out of here.
His face is in a plate of spaghetti. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So there's a lot of stuff in that it really bugs me, that kind of shit, man.
Fun fact. The actor and the gluttony actor is actually the screenwriter. In that
really?
scene, yeah, the screenwriter is gluttony.
And he wrote 8mm.
Yes.
Which was another disaster.
Yeah, I think
Seven was a good movie, but 8mm was a disaster.
Now, I will say this much, by 8mm, the first 20-30 minutes are awesome.
Not bad.
But then it just goes off the fucking cliff after that, man. And
you don't know what city they're in. He's traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
He's going to underground porn places and weird theaters, and he's sickened by it, but he's pretentious, man.
He's sickened by it, but he's he in a sick way he's attracted to it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's in those theaters. He's trying not to look.
Yeah.
He's doing like the Mean Streets look where.
But I couldn't buy his character, man, because you got Catherine Keener at home. You're not. Come on, man. Come on.
I agree.
All your needs have been met at home, so.
Hey, man, it made when he's at the end. I don't want to talk about 8mm, man.
Right.
But at the end,
yeah.
he's going on the phone. He's like, "Would you like me to hurt the person who hurt your daughter, who also, and it was just like, what a lazy plot technique, I didn't like it. Not a fan, man.
No. I'm a huge fan the first 20 minutes.
Huh? Peeping Tom, the movie Peeping Tom is a great movie about snuff movies made in the late 60s or 70s. That's a great one.
Okay.
Peeping Tom.
I'll put that on my list now of my things to do.
That's great.
My list of things to do. Okay. So, all right. So let's jump to our questions here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, we talked about the background. We talked about the cast. So tell me what you like most about Seven.
What I like most about Seven is, I'd have to say, just Fincher's swift directing with an imperfect script was just terrific. Also, the swift directing mixed with the awesome cinematography, the ambiance, not a lot of background music, not a lot of background, flowery background music or anything. It was devoid of that. I really like that. The feel, just like Fight Club, Fincher delivers that feel of this desperate city with these desperate people with just the ambiance, man, is what I loved about it the most, but the performance, it's a close tie between the ambiance of the movie and Morgan Freeman's lead performance, is really, really good too.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you on that. And the thing I like,
your favorite?
Yeah, the thing I like the most about it is I'm pretty much the same as you. Just the atmosphere. To me, it's a movie that doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like David pulled back the curtain on a world that I know nothing about, and I like it when a director can show me something I've seen a million times before and make it feel something brand new. And when I saw it, when I was sitting there in the theater watching this film, it's a buddy, really it's a buddy cop film, but it's not Lethal Weapon. It's not anything you've seen before, but you've seen it before. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that really just totally turns me on about the film. And of course the performances. Once again, I said before, I think the casting of Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt together is one of the best casting jobs in recent movie history. Those two characters, I could see them actually. And Spacey. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He when Spacey, comes into the scene in the third act, man, he dominates it. He absolutely dominates the film, man.
Dominated the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, and it's an acting tour de force. It's a clinic. It's a clinic. Really, we see three clinics. From Morgan as the center, as the calm center of the film. Brad as the wild card, so to speak, and Kevin as the icing on the cake, basically. I mean, the one who kind of brings it on. He's like the closer in a baseball game. When he comes on the ninth, he takes it over and I got this.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, like when he's in the car with them.
Oh my God.
Like,
yeah.
He dominates that entire thing. And Brad Pitt does it. They're both great.
Yeah.
They're both doing what they should be doing as actors. Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman when they're driving him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some dialogue. Again, I don't mean to harp on this writer, but it's like there's some dialogue that's like a little bit goofy, and Kevin Spacey like makes it sound like scary and great. Like Brad Pitt, I think, says to Spacey, "Hey, you remember I got you. I found you." And Spacey says, "I remember kicking your face."
Yeah.
Like that could have been better. That could have been better written, kick in your face. But it's like the way Spacey delivers it, it's scary. Yeah, like this is a psychopath in their back seat. They have no idea. This guy is smarter than them too, or smarter than Brad.
See, that's the thing about it, because the first time you see this scene, you have no idea what's going to happen. Once you've seen the movie, if you watch it over and over again, he already knows everything. So he's being smug and sarcastic towards Mills because I know something you don't know that you're going to know in a few minutes. Yeah. So it's like, he's like, motherfucker, you wait and see. I got some shit for your ass. So, and the way that scene is shot and directed and the way it's acted, once again, I think it's just magnificent. And I know there's this one line of dialogue where Brad asks him, when someone is crazy, as you clearly are, do you know you're crazy? It's like, and that's something
Hey, are you jerking off in your own feces?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm really fucked up.
Yeah, wearing your grandmother's underwear and covering yourself in peanut butter. I mean, and once again, being a writer, when I saw that scene or whatever, I was like, that is something I would say. I would have my character say. Like, damn, he beat me to the punch. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely would have that character talk that way. Now, you're David Fincher, and you're doing that car scene. How do you think David directed that scene? Or how would you direct it?
I think, look, you have some of the best. If it was me, I'd say, hey, you three actors, go do whatever you want to do. I'm going to stay out of this. I mean, they're so talented. They're going to do a great job. Look, I bet he was like, it's expository, right, about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
He's hinted. There's very subtle cuts to Spacey's face, right?
Yeah.
In that scene that show that, like you said, you have to watch it a couple of times. Like I saw in this last viewing, I saw just how excited Spacey is. And I think that's what Fincher got from these actors was the mood in that car. Was like, Pitt had some crazy emotions going on. Spacey was hatching, had this plan hatched, and it was unfolding as they were driving. So you see this excitement underneath this exterior, kind of smug exterior he's putting out. But you see the excitement for his project in his eyes, And Freeman is the only one who's kind of like, let's wait and see what this is all about. This is a strange situation. So, if I was Fincher and had those actors, look, I don't know how I'd do it, but I'd feel like I was in good hands. If I get those three actors in any scene, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey, Morgan Freeman, unless it's a complete piece of trash script, it's probably going to be pretty good. I think it's Friedkin said actors do 90% of my work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I'm telling you now, if I'm Fincher, I don't know if Fincher did this or not, but if I'm Fincher, I don't let Brad read the third act at all. I want him to be in the dark. I want Mills. I want the actor to be in the dark like the characters in the dark. You know. So once John Doe gives himself up, Brad, you're not reading any more of the script. You're not getting any more pages.
It might work.
Yeah, no more pages.
Yeah.
Of course, Kevin, you know what's going on. Morgan and Brad, they don't get the last 30 pages. They don't get them. Okay, you're just gonna react to John Doe.
Right.
I don't know if that happened or not. But that's why I would have done it.
No way. No, there's no actor who's not gonna read the whole script and be like, no big named actor who'd be like, sign on to a project without knowing the whole script.
You don't think so? But it's Fincher. It's Fincher. I mean, if it's me, they'll probably tell me to fuck off. But it's Fincher. You gotta, if you trust your director, you say, hey, trust me. Okay, you're not reading the next 30 pages, and there's a reason behind it. I'm gonna leave it at that. And you gotta trust me on this.
If I was an actor, I would be okay with it. But these guys have massive egos, and it's like, I don't know if you ever heard the story about Scorsese and Richard Price, who they did The Color of Money together. So Richard Price wrote the script, and Scorsese directed it, and Paul Newman was coming aboard. And Richard Price was like, "This is a good script, we got it." And Scorsese's like, "Not yet. We gotta decide. We gotta wait for Paul and see what changes he wants to make. That's a whole nother process." I think when a big like you said, I mean, Morgan Freeman wasn't huge at the time, but he was I'm sure every actor there read the whole script. I guarantee it. I mean,
now come on, think about it. Okay, let's take somebody who's really big. Let's take Tarantino.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. If he wanted these actors not to read the third act, they would not read the third act. They would have faith in him. Probably.
Exactly.
But that's a big risk. I mean, the third act could be dog shit. And then you get into this project, you're like, I fucking hate this movie.
Well, once again, it's a trust factor. It's definitely a trust factor. I would have sat down with Brad and Morgan, took them to dinner or whatever, and said, hey guys, I know this is not the way you usually do business, but I'm asking you, trust me on this. Trust me. I'm not giving you the last 30 pages. If there's a reason behind it, you gotta just trust me. It's gonna fucking work.
And that would be because Brad Pitt would be, I mean, you just want his act. In the car, I guess the tension, it's just, they do so many takes of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the cut they're going to show is Brad Pitt already knows what the lines are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this stuff has to be read and planned out and meticulously, these actors have to go through it. I don't think you can, I know directors do that, do their own, surprises. I think Friedkin did that to, Burst in The Exorcist, right?
He did?
I think he when that dresser moves across the room and falls on her. I think he didn't tell her that was coming.
Oh, really?
And she was when she is screaming, that thing's about to fall on him. And Tarantino, I mean, this is a minor thing, but did you see The Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
You remember when Kurt Russell picks up that the banjo and smashes it against, and Jennifer Jason Leigh's like, no, don't break it like that. It's because that thing was really worth $3,000.
Oh, really?
$3,000.
Okay.
Something like that.
I didn't know that.
So that was real.
Uh-huh.
So you're right. Look, you're making a movie, it's your movie. You make your rules. Who says your rules can't work? No one. Right?
Right.
So, it is what it is. But if I was an actor with their caliber, I'm reading the whole fucking script. That's it.
Okay, we beg to differ there, but that was just a thought. It just feels that way to me. Okay.
It does. No, I agree with you about that. Yeah. It definitely feels that way, for sure. No, I agree.
So, that being said, next question. What you like least about the film? Go. Now you can go ahead and you can do your rant.
Yeah. The script, I don't like it when they, when it's fantasy police work. I think that's lazy. I think you can make it neo and weird and postmodern without, just being dumb. Like, hey, look, it's a cool idea to go to a library and look through all these books to try to get your clues, but that is so ridiculous. Like that would never. Why do that? What is that? And they know him. Like they know him. Like that's what he does on each one of his cases. Morgan Freeman goes to a library to solve. Like,
he's a regular. Yeah.
To solve the mugging case, he's going to read Canterbury Tales, and to get the rape case, he's going to read Paradise Lost. For the murder one, he'll read Paradise Lost. He's going to read Catcher in the Rye for the juvenile thing. It does. I think it's goofy. I do, and I think affectations I liked back then, like Morgan Freeman throwing the switchblade at a dartboard that I thought looked cool back then. I think it just looks corny now, to be honest. I don't fall for that stuff.
He couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep, so he did whatever he could. I mean, I've been there, done that.
That's a good point. That is. It's just, it's just the switchblade. It's also Brad Pitt's reaction to the switchblade was so, as if a switchblade is any different than a...
Yeah, where'd you get that? Yeah.
Ridiculous. I know that's small. This is small stuff. But look, the scene could have been dramatic between... Here's a problem I have is Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't used very well at all. She gets a bad rap. I'm not on the Gwyneth Paltrow hate train at all. Like, I think her in Talented Mr. Ripley, when she's like, what are you going to do now, Tom? Like, she's fantastic, Like, she's just this mad. She knows what he's done. She's so mad. But Se7en, when Freeman is acting great, she's not doing bad acting. It's the material they're working with. She's trying to decide if she's going to keep that kid. And Freeman goes, but I'll tell you what, if you keep that kid, you spoil him every chance you have. And it just makes me, it's so corny.
But I think once again,
it feels corny, man.
But there's an undertone to that. So that's telling me that Somerset has a kid that he wasn't, that he didn't spoil, that he's estranged from.
No, that's right.
But the thing about, okay, go ahead, you finish.
No, that just, he does have a kid in that, right?
We don't know. We don't know anything about Somerset.
Is that big? But there was a woman, he says, I got close to getting married. When they're at dinner, he says, I came close one time to getting married. So he has a history with something, but you don't know if he... Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, but I just think it was a poorly directed, written scene. And acted. That one. Between Paltrow and Morgan Freeman in the coffee shop, And here's another problem I have. The way they find where John Doe is. It's just, come on, man. That is a cop-out to have it some random database, and then some weirdo comes in and hands him the letter.
His library card. Based on his library card.
Get out of here! Fuck that shit! I got so mad. I said, what is this guy? And they're playing Love Plus One is playing on the radio in the coffee shop. That song by Haircut 100 is playing when they're in that coffee shop. And they're sitting down. They're like, this guy's going to give it. And then this guy's going to give us the information. This guy's got information that the FBI keeps secret. Whatever. It was convoluted and stupid.
Stinky Man. You call him Stinky Man.
Yeah, it was goofy. I did not like that. I wanted them to work. Find the clues. Find out where this guy is. That's your goddamn job as the goddamn writer. Don't have some random nobody come in and say, we're gonna find out from this other database. This random guy's representing this other database of names. What was it again? Tell me exactly. I forget. I can't even remember.
What?
What was that? The guy who gives them.
He was FBI.
Yeah, but what is it exactly that he's giving them a name that's where it comes up hits from a local library of all the times they checked out certain kinds of books.
Because that's like NSA information that you're not supposed to have.
Yes.
It's confidential. Yeah.
I know, but why not start off with that guy then? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's a lazy.
It's convenient. It's very convenient. I'll admit that much,
It was lazy. It's lazy. I didn't like it.
I totally agree there. So we're in agreement in regards to what I like least about the film as well. I think once again, I think the script is kind of lazy. Everything's too convenient when it happens.
That's not Fincher's fault.
No.
That makes it. No. That means like Fincher making that an entertaining, good movie with that script just speaks higher of Fincher. Like that's why he's when you're given a script that has a couple of problems and you work through it, I have much more respect for directors who can do that, Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's a bad script. I think it's a misguided one. And I think
I agree with you. I agree.
And I think in the development stage, maybe they didn't, the actors and the director, they didn't put the time in, I think, because you would think, you got your table reads and everything. Somebody would be like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I mean, why is my character doing this? Why, Somerset, I'm sure Morgan Freeman said, why is my character just going to the library and getting all this damn information? Does he,
right.
Does he work?
Right.
That type of shit. And I don't think any detective can become a good detective if you don't read. And Mills does not read at all. It made that clear. Hates reading. So I don't think in a job like that, you can do a job like that and not enjoy reading because you do so much of it. I would think.
Yeah. I don't know about Canterbury Tales and how that helps. But
yeah, exactly, man. And Dante, all kinds. It's just, yeah. But I'm torn on the diner scene because I think, for one, okay, she's only met Somerset once, and she feels so close to him where she can call him up, have a clandestine lunch with him, and spill her guts to this guy she just fucking met one night.
I know.
I'm thinking about it. If I'm Morgan Freeman, like, bitch, what you calling me for? You don't even fucking know me. You telling me all this bullshit. I don't want to hear. I got work to fucking do. I'm trying to find a goddamn killer. You bugging me some shit about. I barely know Mills.
Figure it out with your fucking husband.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck you calling me for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Yeah. So but at the same time, that's a pivotal scene because one, it makes you really sympathetic towards Gwyneth's character. So it makes her death more impactful. I did feel sorry for her because she's crying, all this kind of shit. I hate it here.
True.
Yeah.
It could have been a good scene. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you could have kept that scene and made, maybe a different take would have been better. Like the way, if you look at that movie and you watch her, she's a great actress. I'm not trying to knock her, okay? But like the way she is crying after he says, spoil that kid every chance you get. Then they cut to her and they show her like doing this face, trying to hold back tears. It doesn't work. To me, it's a cringe scene. That scene. Like I can't look at it.
I think
it irritates me.
I think I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have done if you need Somerset and Tracy to interact and have this conversation, I would have done it differently. Me personally, I wouldn't have been sitting at the fucking diner first of all, because that's just too unrealistic. Like for example, say he goes to the apartment looking for Mills, and Mills has already left. He knocks on the door. She answers the door. Yeah,
exactly.
And he can tell that something's bothering her, and he asks her, "Are you okay?"
See, there you go. Why not put that in?
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You should have written the thing. You put that scene in instead of the coffee shop scene. I'm better with that.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, this makes a little bit more sense. I see why. That's the problem. In defense of all this stuff is that was a different time. In the early mid '90s, we were both in our 20s, right?
Yeah.
And we were watching movies and going to movies and probably seeing movies that were breaking all the rules over and over again, and that was the kind of the cool thing to do. You don't have to stick to it. Make it postmodern, kick it around, you know, break the rules. And Tarantino, for instance, right? Like, absolutely broke all the rules, and like, you loved it. I loved it. You know, when I saw
Cause me,
Reservoir Dogs, I loved it. Like
Cause me, I'm not a 3-act guy. I do not stick to a 3-act format at all.
I hear you.
That's probably why I'm not as successful as I need to be. You know what I mean? Cause
no, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And in the early '90s, they kind of. I mean, Reservoir Dogs is not. I mean, those are not. Typical 3-act structures.
No.
You know, what Tarantino does ever.
Not at all. Not at all.
I can't think of any movie he's made that is, but maybe there is one I'm just not thinking of.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, obviously, you know, he can do that because he's who he is. But nobody like me, you got to stick to a 3-act. But I get it. Yeah. That being said, there's something I just lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? I forgot. It'll come back to me. But anyways, that's what I like least about it. So we're in agreement there. So, if you were pitching this movie, how would you pitch it?
Well, at the time, if I was pitching it in '95,
no, if you're pitching it today, Se7en never happened, and you're pitching it right now. You pitching it to Netflix or somebody.
I feel like so many movies have copied Se7en now that
you okay. Se7en never happened, so there's no copycats.
All right. Okay. I guess
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Me cut you. I forgot. I remember what I forgot. Okay. So I meant fun fact: the diner scene. That diner is from another movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from a famous movie.
Okay. All right. Give me a hint.
Denzel Washington is in it.
Training Day.
Yes, that's the diner from Training Day. So.
Okay.
Oh, and another fun fact: the screenwriter Kevin Andrew Walker, he was a graduate of the Penn State's film program, which is a pretty decent program. He was working in a Tower record store when he wrote this.
I know that. In New York.
In New York. Yes, he was.
That was close to my house.
Oh, really? Really? So, did you buy some records from him?
Probably.
Oh,
threw all my money away on records back then.
You randomly run into folks. I'm off script here or whatever. I'm digressing for a second here. You know, in New York, you can randomly run into a famous person. I didn't fucking know it.
Oh, of course.
Okay, who have you randomly run into in New York that's famous, and you didn't know they were who they are? I got a good one for you. So.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear you. I want to hear yours though.
Mine is gross.
Okay, go ahead.
You go ahead. I'll go after you. Just because mine's gross. I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay. Well, I met a famous musician at a party. I think it was in Greenwich Village, I believe.
What year though?
Oh shit. This was like 2010, 2009, somewhere around there. Because this person that I met died a few months later. So whatever year he died, that's when it was. But I met him at a party. I'm talking. I'm at this party. I think it was like a Rolling Stone party. Some magazine threw a party. I'm there.
Okay.
And I'm talking to this guy I know, and this other guy comes up and starts talking. This older guy with glasses, gray hair, has on a coat. He's like he's getting ready to leave. Has on his coat. This is in the winter. Has on his coat, scarf, getting ready to leave, and everything. So introduce him to the guy. Shake hands. It's so loud in there. I couldn't hear. I can hear the guy's name.
Okay, wait. Is this definitely 2009, 2010?
It was 2000 something. It was 2000 something. I think it was somewhere around 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there.
Not 2015. Not
No.
2015.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Wasn't Prince.
No, it wasn't Prince. No, I know Prince. I know Prince. It definitely wasn't Prince.
Wasn't David Bowie, wasn't Prince.
What David Bowie wasn't Prince. Anyway, so we small talk for maybe 5 minutes or so. The guy, he's getting ready to leave, so he introduced me to him. I couldn't hear what he was saying. I'm drinking, we're talking, whatever, right? And the guy leaves, and I'm talking to the guy I was talking. We were talking a little bit more, right? And he says that Lou was great. I'm like, Lou who? Lou Reed. What?
Dude, I swear on my life I was going to guess that. I
Really?
swear on my
Really?
life I was going to guess that. I swear on my dad's soul I was going to say Lou Reed.
Really?
I swear.
I
swear.
Velvet Underground. I had no idea it was fucking Lou Reed, man. None whatsoever. I was like, that was fucking Lou Reed. Yeah, that was Lou Reed.
He died right around that time.
Yeah.
2010, right?
Yeah. And he died a few months later. I'm like, fuck. I met Lou Reed and I didn't know it. You know, so.
One of the best. One of the best ever, man. I mean, just so fucking good. All right, well, I don't want to take up too much time but I'll tell you
Go ahead.
I made a fool of myself meeting like famous people so many times. It's almost like I can't meet a celebrity without acting like an idiot.
Right.
So let me tell you 2 stories real quick, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
My first is I was leaving my apartment on West 70th Street, and I'm walking up to Columbus Avenue, and I see a guy in a motorcycle helmet walking towards a brand new, spanked out, jacked up R1100R BMW motorcycle, which is this was 1998 about, and that was a really nice motorcycle at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really nice color. It was this cherry red, and I walked up to it, I was looking at it, and this dude with a helmet, tall, muscular, built, big guy, walks up to the bike, and I go, "Sir, is this your motorcycle?" And then I could just see his face through the motorcycle helmet.
Right.
And I hear this voice that goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I go, I know this motherfucker. So I start making up a bullshit conversation with him, right? I'm like asking him really dumb shit. Like I'm like, the bike is called a Se7en. All right. I go, "Hey, how many cc's does this have, sir?" And he's like, 7,500. Just like, so I'm asking him really dumb shit. That I see his face, and I'm like, "That's fucking Harrison Ford."
Was it?
I go, "That's Harrison Ford." Yep. And I go, and I know it's Harrison Ford. He's starting to recognize that I'm recognizing who he is, and he's seeing my fanboy eyes. He's like, "I just gotta get the fuck away from this kid." That's what he's thinking, So he gets on his bike, and as I'm walking away from him, just a little bit, like when you knock something over, you see it like falling in slow motion. These words came out of my mouth as I was like 5 steps away from him. I was like, and this was right before Phantom Menace was coming out, and I go, "All right, Mr. Ford, may the force be with you."
Oh.
And, dude, he looked at me like I had a fucking horn on my head. He goes, "Yeah, thanks." And I was like, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, no. Like, trying to redeem myself. He just drove away from me. And then, the other one I'll tell you real quick. You know what? That's enough.
No, I want to hear it. Go ahead, man. Tell it.
All right. It was a really great actor who was on The Sopranos, played Bobby on The Sopranos.
Bobby Bacala? Bobby
Yeah.
Bacala. Okay.
So that dude, I recognized him in a bar. "Oh, Bobby Bacala,
Sherpa.
how you doing?"
Steve Sherpa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Steve Sherpa.
Mm-hmm.
And he was super, super nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, couldn't have been more gracious. I was probably pretty drunk. Probably looked like a slob. I was probably annoying him. He was being very gracious. The dude, I'm talking to him in a bar on the Upper West Side on 67th Street, Peters, a bar called Peters, and he walks. I think to get away from me, he walks into the bathroom. I followed him in there. I don't know. Maybe I first met him. I don't know. But anyway, I'm talking to him in the fucking bathroom, which is just wrong, inappropriate. Dude goes to take a shit. I keep talking to him. And I start asking him, like, "So what do you think of the show Deadwood?" Like the worst thing you can say, And he's like, "Who's this fucking asshole kid?" He's like, "I'm taking a shit, man. You're talking about shows on my channel I haven't seen. Get the fuck away from me." He didn't say that.
Yeah.
But that's the vibe I got, so I got the fuck out of there. But I made a fool out of myself in front of a lot of people like that, so... Just who I am.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. Very cool.
All right, sorry.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, we digress. Okay.
Sorry.
How would you pitch it? How would you pitch the film?
I would pitch it as, a neo-noir for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like a neo-noir, two detectives. I mean, if I was pitching it now, you'd want to go, biracial detectives, because that is a better selling point right now. If you have, a white detective and a black detective, and maybe get into some of. I guess that wasn't an issue in the movie. Like they never mentioned that he was black.
No.
Right?
No, not at all.
Not that I remember.
Never. No.
There was no reference, which I like. I mean, that's good. But I think now, if I was pitching it, you use everything you can. So you go, oh, this is, you want to, biracial cops. Is just something that seems to sell better. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Something for everybody. Yeah.
I'd probably pitch it that way. Is what I'm saying. And I'd say a neo-noir. Mixed with John Milton, like I said, I'm not a big fan of this script, so it's hard for me to pitch this. Well, I have problems with it, like the script's foundations. I have problems with, like the reliance on Milton and the reliance on Paradise Lost. Like it's pretentious,
very much.
It's pretentious, so I wouldn't want to pitch this. Like, I wouldn't want to bring all that crap into it, personally. I probably wouldn't do a good job at pitching this. I guess two neo-noir cops in a windy city trying to find a psychotic religious killer. Something like that.
Okay.
That's probably the best I can do.
Okay. All right.
That's the best I can do.
I feel you, man.
That's all the effort I'm putting into it.
I feel you. Okay. All right, I think I've told you this before. I'm terrible at pitching. Okay, I'm terrible at it. I'll never be good at it. Actually, I have a pitch meeting scheduled for next week, I think. I've had a pitch meeting scheduled for with a production company for the last month, but they keep pushing it. So I've been pushed for a month now. Okay, but I think it's going to happen next week. So
is it in Atlanta?
In Atlanta, yeah. So it'll be a Zoom pitch though, so which is it's gonna suck even more. Okay,
right.
so I'm terrible at pitching. So the way I would pitch this film is because I'm so bad at pitching, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna say whatever. So my pitch would be, okay, I got this film, okay, and it's gonna be like this grittiest, nastiest, stinkiest film that you've ever seen before, and we're gonna have famous actors in the lead roles, and the pivotal role, the bad guy, is going to be played by a big name Hollywood actor, but we're not going to let anybody know who it is. And this film is going to blow the socks off everybody. But
you get pushback from that's the problem with pitching is you get one producer who goes, that's a great idea. Then you get another producer who goes, no, you got to change that. Blah, 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 blah. And
but you know what I would say, if the producer, if they're like, okay, who's the third guy? I ain't telling you. Mm-hmm. Who's the third guy? No, I'm not. I know. I got somebody in mind. I'm gonna get this guy. You gotta trust me on this. Okay? He's already.
This ain't working. They're shit-canning you. They need to know, man.
No, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know.
That pitching.
You gotta say yes first. Then you'll know. And the actor's already read the script and he said okay.
No, listen. I've had a few pitches. I had a pitch once to these guys in development for Disney. It was for we were pitching to Disney. They were a subgroup kind of Disney, right? Mm-hmm. They were a production company that Disney funded, right? Uh-huh. And independent producer. I won't name, but his development heads, this producers. They were they were good at their jobs, but I think part of their jobs is to fuck with you, is to make you second guess yourself, and they say, I'd work on this, come back work on this part a little because we don't like this. It's a little bit too much like Star Wars or something, they said. And so we go, okay. And we changed it exactly how they wanted us to change it. We bring it back, and they go, this is, it should be more like Star Wars. Like they'll say the opposite.
Wait a fucking minute. Yeah.
It's hard, man.
Yeah, I hate pitching,
Anyway,
man.
so pitching is hard. And so I would just go like a neo-noir thriller with these names in an unknown city, criminal doing biblical crime, criminal using Milton to facilitate his crimes ethically somehow to make him feel ethical about it.
And you're not gonna, and I'm not gonna tell you who it is.
Okay, fine. But Kevin Spacey really does believe that he might be doing humanity a good thing.
Yeah.
With that shit he's doing. I really believe that.
He says it. He says only in the world is shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He says
But
it.
he really believes.
He's convinced.
Look,
Yeah.
He's like, you hated this lawyer. You wanted him dead. You fucking hypocrites. I killed him. I'm the one that did it.
He spends his time lying with every fucking breath he takes. You know? And this model who's so, who hates herself so much that she would cut off her face. How, she'd rather die than.
Be ugly.
Yeah, than be ugly. Yeah. So he's right. And he just went about the wrong way of doing it. I mean, don't kill him, shit. Yeah. Shame him or something, man. But damn, come on. He took that shit to an extreme.
Making a man eat himself to death.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody you would look at and ridicule because he's fat. Yeah.
Dude, that's a nice we go down that route, not eating himself to death. Don't make him eat himself to death.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways,
Okay, so, all right, in this film, a lot of famous people pop up in this film. I don't know if you noticed that or not. There's a lot of cameos from famous people.
A few.
Yeah.
Make it.
Yeah, Arlie Ermey as the police captain.
Yeah. From Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
He was a real drill sergeant.
Yeah, he was. He sure was.
He looks like a tough dude.
Yeah, great character actor. Great.
He's great in Mississippi Burning.
Oh yeah, love him as the mayor in Mississippi Burning.
Mayor.
And
a little corrupt.
Yeah, the corrupt mayor. Yeah. And I love the scene where he's in the office talking to Brad in Somerset. The phone rings. He said, "This ain't even my office."
Right.
Just the subtle little things like that, man. That a great actor adds to, he probably didn't even know that the phone's gonna ring. I'm sure that it may have just randomly rung or Fincher was like, hey, let's ring this phone, see what he does. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just maybe improvised that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think? Wait, now who? I know this guy was someone famous. I can't peg who it is. Mm-hmm. Who was the guy? He was in Platoon, right? The head of the SWAT team.
Yeah, California.
What's his name?
California. That was his name.
What's his name?
California. That was his name. The character name.
Oh no! But I mean the actor. It's like John
McGinley.
That's right. Yes, he's in that, right?
Yeah.
He's the head of the SWAT guys.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of. I remember seeing him.
Yeah, he's that guy. Yeah, like pal.
Yeah. But it's like he's only in it for a second.
Yeah.
And he had big roles in Platoon and Wall Street. Like those were legit roles, like pretty big roles.
Yeah, because he's the one. He's in the helicopter when he shoots him. Oh shit! It's like, get somebody fucking out here now! Oh fuck!
Yes.
Oh, he's the one that says when they find the guy strapped to the bed. Yeah.
You got what you deserve.
Yeah, and the guy coughs, and he's like, "Dicks!" Oh, by the way, another fun fact. That actor, that was the skinny actor in the bed, I think it was Sloth.
Yeah.
Whatever he was,
Sloth. I think I don't know.
Was he Sloth? Whoever he was, Fincher. The actors thought that he was dead. Fincher told him to cough. They didn't know he was going to cough, so that reaction is a genuine
wow.
reaction. They're not expecting.
so-
They thinking that he's dead. Yeah.
So a little trick like that,
Yeah.
that can work on set. But
Yeah.
I don't think you could get away with some huge trick like you think. Maybe you could. I don't know.
Well,
But, yeah.
the kind of, to get the kind of reaction that you want. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I know there's some movie, I forget whatever movie it is, where an actor slaps another actor and he told he told him not to tell him that you're gonna slap him. Yeah, I mean stuff like that. You want I forget what movie it was, but there's a famous movie somebody gets slapped and they're not expecting it. So
What movie is that? I know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to remember it. I can't remember right now, but yeah.
God, it's just stoner. All right.
All right, so recasting. If you had to recast this film, who would you recast as Somerset?
Ooh. Wait. So are we?
No.
Talking...
Oh, by the way, Denzel turned down Mills. Denzel was offered Mills. He turned it down. And Denzel says he regrets it.
He did. He says yes to the Bone Collector.
Yeah.
And no to Se7en.
Yeah. He says no to Mills.
His agent ain't doing him justice there because he should have. He would have been good. He did a bunch of crap movies, Denzel, in the mid.
Yeah, like Virtuosity and shit like that. Yeah.
Bone Collector.
Bone Collector. Yeah.
A bunch of weird shit.
Yeah. He did some bad movies back then. Yeah.
Unforgettable. Is that him? Unforgettable?
No, that was Ray Liotta.
No, that's Ray Liotta.
But Fallen. He did Fallen.
Fallen.
Yeah.
That one. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but he turned down Se7en. Sure did. He was Mills. So
Okay.
he said he didn't. He said he didn't understand the script. So there you go. The script.
Denzel's a fucking genius. See?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. That's exactly what I would have said. Now look, if I'm recasting that character,
Yeah.
are we talking? I can pick an actor.
Anybody.
From all ages.
All ages.
From all ages.
Any genre. Any era. Anybody.
Era. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I could see fucking Robert Mitchum doing a great job with that thing.
Yeah.
Robert Mitchum.
Yeah.
I could see him bringing something really interesting to a role like Somerset.
Mm-hmm.
A guy like Mitchum. Stone cold, sexy, but
Stoic.
strange.
Yeah.
Stoic.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
Something simmering underneath. Yeah.
Exactly. He does that great. Mitchum does that. So Freeman did too in this movie, but Mitchum does it great. Like there's a lost something, like you were talking about. Maybe he's really sad that he's alone. It is sad when she's like, hey, why are you alone, Somerset?
Yeah.
He's like, I came close to getting married. You feel bad for him. I could see, I could see Mitchum looking like he's carrying that baggage around with him too.
Like, look, bitch, why are you so nosy? That's what I want to know. It's like...
Brad Pitt, his character, Mills.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Mills, yeah.
Could put Ryan Gosling. Do a fine job,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. John Doe.
John Doe. Ooh, that's tough to replicate that. I would say. I bet Tom Hardy would be an interesting.
Tom Hardy. Oh yeah, he would definitely. He's a method actor. He would definitely immerse himself.
He'd bring something new to that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be interesting as him as the psycho.
I can picture Tom Hardy going on a bender for like a month straight, not sleeping for a month straight, and all that kind of stuff. And showing up on set, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
All emaciated.
Yeah, exactly.
Glassy eyed.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
And for the lady, I mean, she wasn't given much to do, so
No.
I don't know. I just a doll or something.
Diane Lane.
Diane Lane, yeah.
Yeah.
Blake Danner.
Here you go, Blind Dad. That's right, Mama. Okay. For Mills.
A lot of her shit was cut out. What do you know if a lot of Paltrow's scenes were cut out of that? Is that possible?
It feels like it. It feels like
it. I think that's probably true.
Yeah, it feels like I would love to have seen a scene between her and David, maybe in bed or something. There's something going on there.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe
I want it.
You know what? maybe they're out one night going out for dinner or whatever. Okay, and they're like walking. They see in the alleyway. They see somebody a girl giving a guy a head in the alley or something. You know.
Totally, man.
And like, I'm sick of this shit. Why are we here? Or seeing or seeing somebody pissing, shitting in the street as they're walking by. Something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Something like that would be great.
Yeah, I'm sick of this place.
Or some forewarning to that she's gonna get somebody's gonna hurt her, someone attacks her and Brad Pitt overreacts and smashes the guy's head against the wall.
Yeah.
To show her how protective he is of her, and
I hate this place.
They really,
yeah.
Yeah, they don't give her much to do.
Yeah, but I definitely feel something got cut. But yeah, recasting. Now, if I'm recasting Mills, I'm picking John Travolta from Blowout, from the Blowout era. Now, Blowout is my favorite John Travolta.
One of the best.
Yeah, he's a sound guy. That's right. As a sound guy. Yeah, Travolta from Blowout as Mills.
So good.
Yeah.
One of the best. Blowout. I mean,
love Blowout. Love it. Now, Somerset. Somerset. I would have to go with Samuel Jackson. Got to. Sam Jackson as Somerset.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, all right, what age though? Because Samuel L. Jackson, he's in everything, and I guess he kind of has remained like the same look, right? For
he's pretty much the same guy. But but I think Sam, he's such a versatile actor. You know what I mean? And I'm sure.
He's so fucking good.
And at some point, he would have to say "motherfucker." I mean, just because the whole movie you're gonna be waiting for him to say "motherfucker."
Yeah, because that was probably 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was 1 year after Pulp Fiction, right?
Yeah, it was. You still there?
I'm still here. I can still hear you, but your camera's off.
Uh-oh, my alarm went off. Oh, see, we're live here, man. We're live. What happened to you?
You turned your camera off, bro.
Okay, all right, we're back. Okay, we're recording live, so fuck it.
Sorry, guys.
All right, so I would pick Sam Jackson for Somerset, John Travolta, Blowout era for Mills.
So who's John Doe?
John Doe. Now that's a tough one.
It is.
I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna pick somebody that would be against type. John Wayne as John Doe.
He would never do it.
He would never do it, but who knows? John Wayne, when he's already got cancer, he's dying. You know what I mean? So he's like, fuck it.
Well, you know something? Yeah. I'm not a big fan of his acting.
I'm not either.
I like Liberty Valance, sort of.
The Quiet Man. I like him in Quiet Man.
I think the only movie is when he knew he had cancer, is The Shootist.
Yeah.
Where he really gives a vulnerable performance.
And that's the John Wayne I would cast. Is that I already know I'm dying, so I'm going to say fuck it and just go balls out for this. This be my last big role. That guy.
I don't know. I think John Wayne would definitely. There's no goddamn way in the world you could convince him to do that role.
Just picture for a second. Picture John Wayne for a second. Oh, he didn't know.
I don't know. He's not too good of an actor. I mean, I hate speaking ill of the dead, but it's like he never really impressed me, John Wayne, with his acting.
I mean, he was a movie star. He wasn't an actor. He was a movie star. There's a difference.
That's right.
Yeah, he was a movie star.
But like The Shootist, he started to. It's just sad that he started to evolve that late in his life, or was given a chance to do something different that late. You know, show your vulnerability. I mean, I think it was Bruce Dern beat him up in The Cowboys, or Bruce Dern kills his character in The Cowboys or something, and he really beat up Bruce Dern in that movie because his ego was hurt. He's like, you're gonna be killing the Duke, man. I'm gonna beat your ass, or some shit. Like, this might be urban legend, but you know.
Well, he produced most of his own film, so he you know, it's up to him. So you know why why allow yourself to get beat up in the first place? I mean, he got the shit beat out of him in Hondo. You know what I mean? So got stabbed and everything. Right. So you know, so
right.
But yeah,
what's the one where he's a cop and when he goes to England?
Brannigan.
You remember?
Brannigan.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I liked him in Brannigan.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But see, that'll be my Tarantino move, because Tarantino, we always cast people against type. So.
And you're always so psyched when it's a Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
And you see that motherfucker popping up against type. You're like.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be good. So I hear what you're saying. I mean, Tarantino, he doesn't care. He'll cast anyone as long as he can make it work.
You know, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Tarantino to cast Jim Carrey.
Right.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Jim Carrey in a Tarantino film playing something totally against type?
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Yeah, I'd watch it.
So Jim Carrey, you right there listening. If you want an Oscar, you need to be calling Quentin up. If you don't believe me, ask Christoph. Okay.
Because I think Carrey, when he didn't get nominated for
he never got nominated for anything.
No, I know when he didn't get nominated for the Truman Show.
Yeah.
And he went up and gave the speech, and he's like, you know, not every actor has to win the award. They just have to get nominated. He just like fake crying. It's funny.
Well, he got robbed for that. He deserved to get nominated for Truman Show. I'm not a huge Carrey fan, but I did like him in Truman Show.
I liked him in Cable Guy. I thought he was funny.
I didn't like Cable Guy at all.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a great movie, but I don't really attribute that to Carrey, you know?
No, I don't either. You know.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. Not great. Okay. Who stole the movie? This is easy. Who stole the movie? Spacey, of course. Without a doubt.
Literally stole. I mean, yeah, that's about he stole it at the end, man. It's funny, you know. I think we said for JFK, you said Pesci, I said Oldman, both stole it. But this one, will you say Spacey?
Yeah, absolutely.
Without a question.
He like I said, the last 30 minutes is all his. And
so that, like, my favorite part of the movie is the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That is the best part of the whole movie, in my opinion.
Agreed, absolutely. And you know, the introduction of John Doe when he walks into the police station, detective. You got me. It's like,
it's great.
You win, Kevin. It's all yours.
It's great. Yeah, I agree. He stole it.
All right, who overacted in the film? Anybody?
Overacted.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna. I don't think anyone did. I didn't see a lot of overacting in that movie.
I don't think anybody ever overacts in a Fincher film. I don't think he would allow it.
I can't think of an example of that.
No, I can't either.
I can't.
So I agree. All right. This is my favorite of all my questions. My favorite one. Would you take it to Pluto? No. I mean, I just have, like I said, like I have problems with the script, you know? I mean, once you start with a script that's a little goofy, it's just hard to get away from that, man, you know? Uh-huh.
Everything hangs on that. So it you know, I just not being a huge fan of that script, of just the script. That's it gave.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean to cut you off. Yeah, there was an overacting in the film. Leland Orser.
Who's that?
The guy that had to fuck the prostitute with the strap on.
Oh, right.
It was in my fucking mouth. Oh God.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a very small thing. But you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's also, you know, the editor's fault, and you know, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I don't know why they kept that. Why they kept that particular.
Yeah, it's a bad take.
Yeah, it's a terrible take. And Orser, he actually didn't sleep. He didn't sleep for like 3 or 4 days for that scene. Yeah.
He was nervous, or for method acting.
Yeah, method acting. So,
and he comes up with that.
Yeah, after that's like, dude, you should have got some sleep.
Yeah.
Should have
Try a
gotten some sleep.
different kind of acting.
Yeah, that was Leland Orser. But yeah, I would not take this film to Pluto either. I love it. It's one of my favorite like films of this genre of all time. It's my favorite serial killer neo-noir dark film of all time. So, but I wouldn't take it to Pluto because I can only take 5 films to Pluto, and it would depress the fuck out of me because we're gonna talk about this in a second here. But yeah, that I always cry at the end. So I've seen this movie.
Se7en because she's killed. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go and talk about that now. Every time, man, when I saw it in the theater, man, I cried. Every time, I know it's coming. Every time, man, I still get the tears still well up in me because Gwyneth's character, even though the diner scene could have been better, she wins me over in that scene. I feel so sorry for her, and of course, Brad's performance at the end, man. Oh God, oh God,
He's
what's in the box? What's in the box? Come on, what's in the box? Just staying there, I kind of, honestly, I'm an emotional. So what?
He's got his gun pointed that way, right? He's like,
Yeah.
Oh God.
And Morgan's reaction is genuine. That was another thing that because he didn't know what was in the box, and
really?
so when Morgan opens the box,
actors?
yeah,
the actors.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
So Morgan did not know that her head was in the box. So when he opens it, that's a real reaction. John Doe has the upper hand. That's all him. That's improvisation.
Yeah, but he's a smart guy. He must have suspected that that's what it was, right? Because we all knew. I mean, you knew.
I had no idea. I had no idea what was in the box until they do that quick flash of her face. I did not know what was in the box. I didn't
Did you ever
until he
see
said so.
Barton Fink?
I have, but I don't remember much about it. He plays the screenwriter, right? John Turturro plays the screenwriter.
That's right.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles. Yeah, he's a playwright turned screenwriter.
Yeah.
And there's a scene at the end where I believe Goodman, there's a William Faulkner character in that played by John Mahoney, and he has a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And Barton Fink starts sleeping with William Faulkner's John Mahoney's girlfriend, and I think John Goodman. It's insinuated that he cuts her head off, and he's carrying around a box.
Oh.
He leaves a box in the room, and I was like, and it's her head. They never show it. You just see, they never expose it, but you just know it. There's I forget the hint but it's her head in that box. They just don't show it.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
Yeah. And I don't, it's been a long time since I've seen that one, but I remember I think there wasn't that much room for it to be anything else. Like you kind of knew that her head was in that, and from that movie, that's what made me think her head was in that. What in Se7en was from Barton Fink. I remember that, like the head in the box.
Uh-huh.
But my question to you: do you think that Se7en gets made without Silence of the Lambs? Do you think that needs to pave the way for a movie like Se7en in the 90s? Because, things were going on, weird things were going on in the 90s. Right?
Oh, that's an excellent question, man. I'm going to say yes, it gets done anyway. Because I think in that era, we're ready for it. Because somebody had to be first. Silence of the Lambs was first. But I think just... the premise is enough. I take that back. I don't think the premise would have been enough to sell it, but the attachments did. So I think if you're pitching this movie back then, and you say, hey, okay, we've got Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman signed up, and Kevin Spacey, they've all agreed to do it, and they be like, okay, this shit is dark as hell, but because you've got these guys, but if you had some B actors, it doesn't get made. At least it might get made by Globum Globus, Yoram Globus. It's a cheesy, D-level flick. Yeah.
B movie
Yeah.
or something
On
like
Cinemax
that.
or
Yeah.
something that you see, 4:00 in the morning. Yeah. Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs kind of made, they had those big actors in that
Yeah.
really nefarious role.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah. Anthony Hopkins, come on, this classical big time actor playing this, Hannibal fucking Lecter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you got Jamie Foster and Jodie Foster, who was like one of the biggest actresses at that time. Yeah, it was a win-win. You know you're not gonna lose with those two actors.
So good. So good.
So, but I think that may have been more of a risk because Brad was unproven, and Morgan and Morgan hadn't led a movie either. Plus, he's an older black guy. Morgan was in his 60s or late 50s, early 60s. So that's not your typical leading man.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Now you do know that Morgan Freeman was Easy Reader in Electric Company, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where I kind of knew him from, man. But yeah, I don't think the movie gets made. With those actors, without Silence of the Lamb coming first.
Yeah,
so.
I think you're right, man. I mean, I think that paved the way for a lot of these. It opened the doors for a lot of these other things to be made. I think,
Yeah, it did, and obviously
this can be a success. This can be a critical success and a commercial success, even though it's a very dark, violent subject. With disturbing material and risque, disturbing scenes. I'd fuck me. Like, I mean, that's disturbing stuff. And
Se7en made a lot of money. I think it grossed like over 300 worldwide. It was a huge hit.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Those days are done though now. Unfortunately, hopefully not. But those days of the theater are done. Did you see Tenet? I mean, Tenet.
Yeah, they just COVID's going away. It's not gonna be here forever, man. Movies are coming back, man. Come on. I mean, movies are coming back. It has to, man, because nothing beats the experience of seeing a film in the theater. I don't care. Nothing's ever going to beat that, ever.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Your attention, and the main thing is not just seeing it in the big screen, although that's now with fucking media, there's so many fucking distractions.
Yeah.
Like, you have different fucking device. When you're watching a fucking movie, you should watch it from the start to the finish of the movie, watch from the start to the finish. Don't take breaks and texting on your phone. You watch the goddamn movie, But I think like a lot of people now they cannot, literally they can't watch. They're too restless to sit for 3 hours without checking if someone's texted them.
I agree. I don't care if I'm watching at home. Yeah, if I'm watching at home, I don't care how good the fucking movie is. I'm stopping to check my phone. I'm gonna do it.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Because you can, and not miss anything.
You do.
But in the movie theater, if you're stopping, you're missing something. If you step outside for a second, you're missing something. You go take a pee, you're missing something. But but to me, nothing will ever replace the majesty, the splendor of watching a film in a movie theater. So,
but Se7en made a ton of money. Mm-hmm. Fight Club made a ton of money, right? I mean, he did well. Did he do one between? What did he do between between Se7en and Fight Club?
Zodiac. No, was Zodiac? Zodiac was after
2007.
What did he do? Did he do anything?
I think he did. I just can't remember.
No. Fight Club came after Se7en.
Yeah. Se7en came 95. Fight Club was 99.
Yeah.
About 98, 99, right? Yeah. And then Zodiac, 2007. But in between Fight Club and Se7en, I'm wondering if there's something there. So like 97. Let's take a look.
Yeah. Shit.
Let's see.
IMDb. Have you updated your IMDb page?
I do. It's all for sound work, though.
Let's see here. David Fincher. Here he is. Director.
The Game.
The Game. That's right. The Game.
That's
okay.
a good one. Okay. And that was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good one. Yeah, I mean, The Game, that was, he's just, Fincher, he's just like Adrian Lyne, like he's just got this style. I just dig it, man. Like that's the thing about Seven. Like watching it, every scene. It's even though I had such problems with the script, I just love like the background and the way it's shot and the decisions he makes in the editing room with that, and just the ambiance, just like that dreary, cold, ambiguous, cold, miserable city, like just like Fight Club, the city. In Fight Club, they're in a nameless city, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
the
are.
same thing.
Yeah, I think most of Fincher's films are in nameless cities because the game it's not.
San Francisco, right? Or Seattle or something.
Yeah, some place like that, but it's never mentioned. Chicago or someplace.
It's not?
No,
Okay.
no,
All
it's
right.
not. It's not. So I think Fincher makes it a point to, you know.
Well, look, I mean, the coolest thing about Pulp Fiction when I saw it was like, you're like, man, this guy is kind of, breaking. This is a fictional city, like even though it is L.A., right?
Well, they actually mention L.A. spots,
No, I know.
Okay.
It takes place in L.A.
Yeah.
But this is not a real L.A. Like, where's the police force?
Yeah.
Going? Like it's not.
There are
not
none.
real stuff.
No.
It's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
But see, and so by that, like Seven, because of like its topic, its serious subject matter and stuff, and it's like it's just not. I didn't feel it was. It doesn't have the comic book feel that Tarantino has, in my opinion, and it just made the script, the inaccuracies with like the police department and stuff like that in Fincher's movie harder for me to swallow than if Tarantino had done it. Now, maybe that's just because I'm biased, but I don't know.
Well, Tarantino has that little fantasy element to it because I think say
right.
in Seven, Tarantino may have the final scene may have intercut with him actually cutting the head off or showing it from a different angle. You know what I mean? Or you know how he does. I mean, he would have put some sort of twist to it. I'm not saying it would have been worse or better, but it would have been different. It definitely would have been different.
It was an interesting time for movies, though, early 90s to mid 90s, because people were starting to kind of break a few of the rules. Like, when was Wes Anderson's first movie?
What was his first movie?
Rushmore, right? No, Bottle Rocket.
Was it? No,
Bottle Rocket. Yeah, Bottle Rocket. I think it was like 97, 96 or something.
Shit. Damn, he's my age. Shit, I didn't know that. I thought I was younger than me.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, Bottle Rocket.
He's your age.
Yeah, Bottle Rocket was first. Yeah.
What year was that? Then?
That was in 93. 96. No, it was 96.
96.
96, yeah. So.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of good new directors coming out in the 90s,
Yeah, now they're old guys. Now they're my age. So, and they got more work than I did. So something's wrong.
Totally, bro. Totally.
Now I'll just be the bitter old dude on YouTube talking about movies and shit.
Same here, man.
But hopefully my pitch goes well next week or the week after, whenever it's fucking done. Who knows?
Good luck for that. Good luck with that, man.
Man, I'm not holding out any hope.
You never know, man. Don't say that.
Dude, I've done this enough to know. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. But you never know. Who knows? I might get a chance to direct it and everything. You never know.
You never know.
But okay, so let's go back to the box a little bit. Okay, in Brad's performance. First of all, in the original draft, Morgan Freeman shoots John Doe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he shoots him. He shoots him to save Mills' career, to save Mills, because
I like that more.
Yeah, Somerset. He's world weary. He's retiring anyway. And he's done, so he sacrifices himself for Mills.
But Mills is done after that anyway. I mean, he just seen his wife's head in a box. He's going into an institution.
He didn't see the box. You got to keep in mind, he never saw it. He just tells him.
Oh.
Yeah, because God delivers it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Somerset meets him at the street on the dirt road, and and he sees her in the box, and
Yeah. But,
California, stay away, stay far away. John Doe has the upper hand. Which is great because as Somerset is running back, that's when Spacey knows that it's been revealed. Now Spacey really starts to go in on Mills and starts telling him what he's done. And the way
that's good. That's great. The way it unfolds is great. Yeah. You see them alone. They're alone together.
Yeah. And he's like, he's like, what the fuck you say? Because when he mentions Tracy, his name is Tracy. And when he mentions her, he's like, what the fuck you say? And it just goes left from there, man.
No, because again, we already said it. Mm-hmm. But Spacey's face when he realizes that Brad Pitt didn't know about the kid.
Yeah.
I mean, just disgusting. The little extra bit of glee you see in Kevin Spacey's face when he goes, "Oh, you didn't know."
Yeah, and Somerset slaps him.
He's so pleased with himself.
Somerset slaps him to try to stop him from doing it.
Right.
I mean,
right.
so
Right.
I think the decision to not have Somerset kill him gives it that final that gives the scene more power.
Maybe.
Because I mean, who wouldn't do what Mills did? I know I would. Who wouldn't? I mean,
no, I would.
I mean, that's realistic. That's realistic.
If someone cuts off my wife's head and I have a loaded gun and that motherfucker is right in front of me, I put a bullet in them. There's no doubt about it. Your emotions would take over.
Yeah, and he shot him 20 times. I mean, he emptied the fucking clip on him. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I put the gun away. I'd strangle him. You'd want to do it up close and personal.
And this is the part about the film that a lot of people may not understand or comprehend. John Doe won. He got exactly what he wanted. He wanted him to become Wrath and to kill him. Because right before he shoots him, the split second before he shoots him, he closes his eyes and he is like at peace. It's like, this is what I wanted. So this is a film where the bad guy wins on every level. Even though the bad guy dies, he wins.
Because the last line is based, he quotes Hemingway, right? In the last, doesn't Morgan Freeman quote Hemingway? He says, Hemingway once said, the world is a good place. It's the last lines of the movie.
Yeah, he does. I don't know if it's Hemingway or not. Yeah, he does quote, yes.
Yeah, and he goes, I agree with the first part. Meaning, the world is a shitty place.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's going to stay shitty.
Yeah.
It's a bad place. And Spacey thinks the world is a bad place, but he's like, hey, you guys created me. This is my project. And you just know for the last, 15 years or 10 years he's been planning this shit. Because he has all those diaries. His whole house is filled with that shit. And some of that isn't one of those murders. It would have taken 4 years, a couple of years.
Yeah, it took a year. The guy he had strapped to the bed. He starts taking photos of the guy, and so they walk in that apartment a year to the day.
So my point is that it's a plan.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Spacey's planned out thing. And at the end, when he closes his eyes and he looks so ecstatic, he goes, everything went according to my plan and great. And then Brad Pitt kills him. So he does win at the end, no question. There's no question about it.
So this film, obviously, the bleak ending. I mean, so there's no satisfaction in this film. So you're walking out of the theater. There's no happiness whatsoever, and I wonder how the test screenings went because I think Brad Pitt flexed his muscles or whatever. It's like, hey, it stays. The ending stays. I think they wanted a more positive ending, and he was like, no. He flexed his muscles to keep it, to keep that ending, because obviously studio wants you to leave the theater happy, but.
I'm such a piece of shit that I saw that and I think I was laughing at the end and with my buddies it was like, they cut off her head.
See
just like Reservoir Dogs when they cut off the ear, I was
okay. This is what happened. They actually the studio wanted it to be the dog's head in the box instead of Gwyneth Paltrow's. And Brad was like, no. the wife. He said no. He said no. Mills wouldn't nut up and shoot him because of a fucking dog.
Dude, good for Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That is absolutely right. And that wasn't in the script though. The studio was asking for that. Was not in a version of the script where it was a dog's head, right? The studio.
After they tested the film, obviously it's such a bleak ending. They tested the film, said no. Let's not end it with the wife being killed. Let's make it the dog's head. The wife survives. It's the dog's head.
That's hysterical. Fuck that shit. Yeah. I would have really gotten annoyed at that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Because the studio said he would be more heroic if he didn't shoot John Doe. It's too unsettling with the head in the box. So no. But Brad was like, no, there's no way I'm doing this. I'm signing off on this with the dog's head in the box. So, and I guess he refused to shoot an alternate ending or something with the dog's head in the box. He refused.
Well, I think that's a good choice, man. I mean, it wouldn't have been too emotionally. Everyone loves dogs, but it's not like you're not gonna get too hurt about it if it's his dog.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because you're not, obviously it's a dog. You're not gonna nut up and shoot a guy, 20 times.
Give me a break.
You're not.
It's ridiculous.
No. Yeah, it is.
I'd be pissed if someone killed my dog. I probably would fucking kill him. But the whole thing is a stupid thing to write. Yeah, that's a good move. Brad Pitt was like, fuck off. I'm not gonna take that. We're not gonna change that.
Yeah, that's typical studio stuff anyway, man. That's typical. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, chicken shit stuff. There was going to be a sequel. They wanted a sequel to Se7en.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there was a spec script entitled Solace about a psychic investigating a serial killer. And Pitt's character, once he gets out of the mental institution, there's I think like 20 years to the day, there's a serial killer doing the exact same thing that John Doe did, and since he experienced it before, Brad Pitt comes out of retirement or whatever to solve the crime. It's a film called Solace, but then they retrofitted it to be Freeman's character, and both of them like say, no, fuck off, we're not doing it. So
what year was that? What year was
2015. That's when they That's when they wanted to do the sequel to Se7en, and both Freeman and Pitt said. Huh?
Was Fincher gonna?
Oh hell no! Hell no! Hell no! Fincher doesn't do sequels. Come on.
No, I know.
Nah. Hell no.
I don't know.
And another tidbit of this was New Line Cinema's first big film.
Really?
Yeah, that was their first big film.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had done some smaller things. Whatever. This is their first big wide release, star-laden film. Yeah.
Any idea of like a movie that maybe wasn't so big that New Line did before Se7en? Any that popped in mind? I don't even know.
No, not anything big. They were doing like mostly B grade stuff. And this is their first big wide release A-list film.
That.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they obviously they've come a long way since then.
Yeah.
So there you have it, Se7en. What are your thoughts, man?
Hey. I'll tell you, man. I remember I saw it in the theater in college, and after it, I remember really getting like I wasn't crying. I was buzzed. Like I walked into that theater with like 4 of my friends, and I remember one girl was like, "Did you like that?" I was like, "I thought it was great. I thought it was great." But I think I have a little bit of, if I'm being honest. Like, after I saw 8mm and I realized it was the same writer, I just had so much prejudice towards that writer. The second time I saw it, and then the other night, the third time I saw it, I was just like, this guy's doing the same. I mean, that writer admitted that he, in 8mm, do you remember 8mm?
Yes, I do.
That?
Yes.
All right, so you remember the guy. All right, so that writer in the original script of 8mm, he didn't want the villain to take the mask off at the end, And the interviewer, I read this interview about, Se7en and 8mm with this writer. And the writer goes, oh, that was just me being pretentious. And he was very he was very, he's kind of like, hey, I'm a kind of a pretentious writer. And I think he is. And I think, I just have a big problem with that shit. It turns me off. So when I saw 8mm, 7 became, it dirtied the movie for me. I didn't like it as much after I saw 8mm.
Well, he didn't, if you look at his filmography, man, he did 7, of course, 8mm, Sleepy Hollow. He did Sleepy Hollow, which was not a bad film.
It could have been better.
It could have been better, but it wasn't terrible. And The Wolfman also. So those are the 4 big movies he did. Everything else has been...
that's a big... What, with Benicio del Toro?
Yeah.
That's a fuck-up.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to make a werewolf movie. You can make a good werewolf movie. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro? Guy's fucked up.
Yeah. That was not a good movie at all. So really, 7 is the only really good film in his filmography.
There you go. And it's because of Fincher. It's because of Fincher.
Yeah. Because Schumacher did 8mm.
8mm.
Yeah. Tim Burton did Sleepy Hollow. I don't know who did. I think, was it Joe Johnston who did The Wolfman? Let's see.
Yeah, don't know. Don't know.
Let's see real fast.
I have no idea.
Who did it? Joe Johnston did. Yeah, Joe Johnston did. So I mean, so for someone who to be a mediocre writer, he's worked with some big directors, man. So you would think he would have learned something along the way. So that tells you all you need to know about Hollywood and script development. There ain't none.
Totally, man. Or it's a perverted. If there is, it's a pervert. One person saying, "Hey, this is pretentious," and change it, and then they make it more pretentious. It's just this.
I mean, but you got four A-list directors who are shooting your shit, man. You would think you would learn something about filmmaking along the way. You would think.
And take a look. What's his latest credit? Take a look at his credits of the past 10 years.
Nerdland, a film called Nerdland that I've never heard of. So that's his last. There are plenty
of opportunities to write for TV now and all these sorts of stuff and to create your own series. This guy, I'm telling you, I read this guy's book. It was a book about 8mm and 7. It was in the 90s I read this book, and I was just like, I think this guy has some really cool ideas, but he's just a pretentious writer,
Is he a hack?
I don't think he's a hack. No. I don't think he's a hack. I think he's trying to make a good script, but it's like he can't help himself. Like he can't help himself from being pretentious sometimes. There are people like that. He needs to leave it in. It's like another movie that I have a problem with is Magnolia. At the end of Magnolia, you ever see Magnolia?
Yeah.
So you know how they rain frogs at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Take that shit out of there.
The symbolism.
Get lost with that. It's just pretentious. So, I don't know, man. The guys are pretentious. And that was Anderson was fighting for those frogs.
Oh, was he?
For those, yeah.
And he got it.
Yeah, and he did. And
but Boogie Nights was so good they had to let him do the frogs. So
Boogie Nights was fucking awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And that director's awesome. Magnolia is the only movie that I was like kind of half into with that. I mean, I like all his other movies.
Yeah, he to me he feels like a modern day Robert Altman to me. Wes Anderson does.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like Boogie Nights, like you can see that's like a Nashville in a lot of ways, and it's like a shortcut. Magnolia is a lot like Shortcuts.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because Shortcuts is Raymond Carver. Like Shortcuts. Shortcuts is there's that short story writer named Raymond Carver, and Shortcuts is all that guy's short stories all jumbled up in a big movie, right? And then you watch Magnolia. I watch Magnolia, and I'm like, wow, this is a ripoff of Raymond Carver.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because there's a scene where Julianne Moore gets she's in line buying the morphine for Jason Robards, buying drugs for Robards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the pharmacists are looking at her and they're going, she's a drug addict, you know, and they're checking on her,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, "This is for my husband because he's dying," and then she goes, "Shame on you," and that's stolen right from Carver.
Is
stolen
it?
Right, yeah, like right from it's from a short story called the first one is called like Night Call or something. There's two versions of the same story, and one's called like A Small Good Thing, and the earlier version is like Night Call or something like that. And I think he wrote Night Call when he was drunk, and then A Small Good Thing, he was sober, and it has a little bit of a happier ending, you know. But in both situations, at one point the husband goes, "Shame on you," and it was, you could just see it. The guy lifted it. Yeah, there's just no doubt in my mind it's lifted from Carver. But
Wow,
you know,
I didn't know that.
Yep, yeah. I mean, there's no question. But Magnolia is probably my least favorite of his, but it's still all right. I guess.
I'm a huge fan. So but yeah, you're right about the frogs, man. But I can live with the frogs, man. So
Fuck those frogs.
All right, so there you have it, 7.
All right, man. This was fun.
Oh, absolutely, man. Great talking with you once again, man. Obviously, it's good to talk with someone who knows film, so it makes for a heartier conversation. So I appreciate you.
Please let me do another one because I love rewatching these movies. You know, I mean, I forget these things.
Dude, come on now, man, because I'm gonna be hitting you up with a lot of shit, man. So
Anytime.
All right, now, so don't forget this moment you asked for it, okay? So.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you still haven't seen Overnight yet, have you?
No, I
Dude,
haven't seen that still.
dude.
I promise. I'm gonna see that. I just
Telling you.
I've been so into this show, The Boys, man. I haven't been able to watch anything else besides that show. Have you watched it, The Boys?
It's on my agenda, man. I might start watching it tonight because I watched the one with Ethan Hawke, the Showtime. What's the name of it? The Falcon and the Snowman. What's it called?
Lord, the Good Bird.
The Good Bird. Yeah, Lordy Good Bird.
Good Bird.
Yeah. I watched like the first 30-40 minutes, man. I could not. He's overacting, man. He's chewing scenery, man. I was like, that's too much.
The spit coming down.
Yeah. I was like, it's just a little bit too much. And I don't like the character, the boy with the dress on. They think he's a girl. I mean, come on. Yeah, come on.
Hey, what? I agree with you with that. I don't know whose idea that was. I'm enjoying the show. I saw the episode 2 a couple days ago, and I actually really enjoyed it. But it was slow. The second episode, you probably wouldn't like if you didn't like the first episode. I don't think you'll like the second episode. Second episode's worse than the first episode.
Oh wow, yeah. So yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. I like them both. Don't get me wrong here. I would recommend that show, but I am with you. Unless that really happened, and I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't know if this happened. That there was some boy they kidnapped who was a girl. Like unless that
it's kind of
based on some factual stuff. Like I am not okay with that. I don't know why they do that. It's a very bizarre choice.
Yeah, I mean a comedic turn on John Brown's raid. I mean that's.
I mean, I'm okay with a little comedy thrown in the script somewhere, but it's like I don't want you to the main character to be kind of like a joke, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
It's like I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a bit much, man. It's a bit much. So.
No, I hear you. But, The Boys is great, man. Check that out. Like The Boys, that's supposed to be the Republican Party. The Boys.
Oh, is
that
it?
Group. Yeah. Check it out.
It's on my list of things to do, man. So I might start on it tonight if I can, man. I might just do that tonight.
All right, Holmes.
All right, so
talk to you soon. I
appreciate you, man. Once again, thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you next time on Watch It Again. See ya.
Thank you. See
Thank
you,
you.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.